10 things you need to know before you get hired. Politics. Now, this is a very sensitive subject, especially if you're just starting work for the first time. And it is something you're going to get used to because you've gone through school and you've gone through uni and you were taught the main content of your subject matter and all the innovation and research about the best marketing techniques and the best technology and the best, I don't know what it is you did at uni or your diploma in, whatever, right? You're now put into an organization where you are competing with peers for promotion, for higher salaries, where you're trying to make an impression to your boss and so on and so forth. That thing called the real world that your parents told you about, saying, hey, fine, uni is good, we're going to take you to the best schools, but you need to learn how the real world works. One of the things that they that they refer to when they mention the real world is politics, how to work with people, how to get on side, how to manage threats, how to win allies. And it is a skill you will learn just as an ordinary worker. It is a skill you learn particularly if you're diverse. You need allies more than anyone because people just won't expect things from you. It's a perception bias thing. We'll talk about that in another video. But what I want to highlight is the role of politics in leadership. Now, remember, I've done executive recruitment. I've dealt with leaders in boards, and their role is 10 times more political than yours. Or yours will ever be, right? Which means that if they make decisions that don't make sense, right, you're just not coming from the same place. I saw it happen with some of my clients. It happened to me when I was working for the companies, the companies I was working for, where, for example, and it caused so much frustration. Two directors who hated each other. They were competing with each other for certain revenues and whatever, right? Because they were both looking for promotion or to get into that inner circle of the C-suite. And rather than sharing resources that actually benefited the whole company, they decided that they were going to do things on their own. Now, in this particular company, and it's replicated across industry, these two verticals or departments actually complement one another, right? The clients, the services offered by these people will serve the clients of these people and vice versa. But they will never share these resources because they're a bit jealous about their revenue numbers. And what that means is when your boss comes to you saying, hey guys, performance, yeah guys, you're doing very good, you're doing great, but now our new KPIs, they're basically going to be 5% what they were. We need you to do X number of A, B, and C, D every month so we can sort of hit that number. What you don't realize is, or you will start to learn, is the main reason why the pressure is on you to increase or to produce more is not because you're bad or not because the market forces or whatever the boss told you. It's because the two directors can't work with each other, right? Many times, if there was collaboration, your job could have been made, I did a study on this, sometimes about 3 times easier simply because organizations work more coherently, there's less competition at the top, and it always comes from the top, rather than when departments fight against each other for certain resources, especially the core business departments, right? So politics is one of these things that you learn. Now, one of the training that I do for leadership is to go to the top person and say, right, you're spending all this money and you're hiring all these people and you're losing employees because they're super stressed and they don't want to work under these conditions, and have 12 a.m. calls with clients in New York and push. Why don't you just get these two departments to share some resources, whether it's share the same CRMs, whether it's to share the same clients or cross-selling, whatever it is. And they say, well, these two can't get along. And it's part of my job to say, right, it is actually better for your business to get these two people to somehow believe that they are part of a team, that they both benefit by working with one another than against one another. Basically, the reason why I highlight this is if things don't make sense when you start your job, sometimes it is not about you. You need to do well, you need to try and keep your KPIs, and even if you can't, if you're really struggling, it's not a reflection of you as a human being or your value. Some people just don't do well at certain jobs. And I'm one of these cases, right? I've got a PhD, right? And then I went into industry and I just realized there's some things I'm not good at doing, and it's an honest thing, right? And it's as long as you're honest with yourself, you're honest with your boss, and you know where you don't fit in the industry, and you talk to people, you will find your place. Don't feel that way because there are KPIs or standards being set on you from above, and that perhaps you're solely responsible or largely responsible for the company or your department doing well. Your department not doing well is partly down to your performance. I say it is even more determined by the strategy and the coherence of the organization. So I'll leave that with you. Please share your comments below. I'll catch you next time.